Welcome to Let's Talk Blood Cancer, the patient podcast with me, Adam Joyce, a former blood cancer patient myself. And today on the sofa, we've got a man with us who has been told that he only had 2 weeks to live. Adam Claxton, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
On the sofa. Mate, the journey that you have been through since the 1st of September 2024 is just unbelievable. Take us back to that day and tell us, as best as you can, what's been going on.
So, a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest, but on the 1st of September 2024, I thought I had a 100-day cough, so I called 111 because it was a weekend, and normally I'm the guy that sort of goes, I'll wait till Monday and go to the doctors, but I knew that I needed to get on antibiotics. So went to the hospital, diagnosed with some sort of chest infection, and the doctor said, before you go, let's just do a blood test. And I thought nothing of it. Prescribed antibiotics. Off I went and picked the antibiotics up, and we were about 5 minutes away from home, and the hospital called, and it was haematology, and they said, Mr. Claxton, you need to go home, pack a bag, and come back as quickly as you can. You've got abnormalities in your bloods. So,
is that it? Is that all they said to you? Abnormalities? Didn't give you anything more than that?
That was it. So we were confused. Went home, packed a bag, went back up to the hospital, and for 24 hours we were a bit in limbo because I didn't actually go to haematology. I went through A&E, kind of like into a waiting room, and didn't really see anybody. And it was one of those, just a virus, could be a mistake, don't really know. And it wasn't until the Sunday afternoon when, after sort of putting the questions out, going, what's happening, why am I here? Someone from haematology came and sat with us and said, look, we think that you've got AML. We need to do a blood test just to confirm that yesterday's bloods was definitely you. And it was all quite rapid. So
wow.
Bloods were done, and she actually went and examined my blood herself and came back and confirmed it.
What a thing to say. We need to check that the blood that we think is yours is yours.
Yeah.
Did that give you a bit of false hope, thinking, oh, there must be a mistake?
You kind of hope that it was somebody else, but you almost know that those things can't happen. Those mistakes can't be a thing, surely.
And you've said AML now, and clearly you know that that's acute myeloid leukemia, but what did AML mean to you? Were they just talking a different language at the time?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that I heard was leukemia, and then I thought, well, that's cancer. Then it was only a day after when it was broken down to me by who was going to be my consultant. He said, think of it as acute, aggressive, white blood cells, loads of them. And that was kind of like, okay. And when he said acute, aggressive, the first thing that went through my head was, I've got to be even more aggressive. And it was like my mind just went.
Was that really the case? Right there and then, in those early stages, you were like, okay, positive.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Is that you before this?
It's me before this. It's me that I've been learning to be this person. And it was almost like every bad situation I've ever faced in my life was actually preparation for what I was about to go through.
Wow.
And I hear words different.
Yeah.
How you think that someone might be come across and be a bit defeated. I was like, okay. I used to train and compete in martial arts. I've been in situations which have been quite scary. And I just thought, it's just another one of those.
Well, I mean, that I admire your approach massively. Of course, not everybody can have that mindset. Do you think that that's really helped you? Have you managed to maintain it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of the things that I was doing during treatment, after, even now, it's about being consistent every day, turning up for myself.
Yeah.
Because you have to. And I'm in that sort of frame of mind of going, if you can fuse mental fitness, emotional fitness, physical fitness with the science, surely you've got a better chance of getting through diagnosis, treatment, etc. And I've seen what happens to those that aren't in that headspace.
Do you know, I couldn't agree more, because when I was an inpatient, those with a positive mindset appeared to do better. And, I'm so glad that you're reinforcing that for me, because I thought, I'm just imagining this.
Yeah, it's hard. And don't get me wrong, you have your days, you have your moments where it's bad, but you have to go, I just get through this moment and everything else will be good.
And you're not over it yet. You know, we're going to talk about the journey that you are currently still on. You had your first round of treatment by the 19th of October, and then you found out that your brother was a match for you for a stem cell transplant. Can you kind of break down what a stem cell transplant is for everyone?
Yeah, so my terms of a stem cell transplant are the cells were taken out of my brother. And again, initially, we were all thinking, oh, they're going to be drilling into his back in horrible procedure. And it actually wasn't that bad. He's rigged up to a very clever machine. They take out his cells of the one arm, spins it through this machine, and then what it doesn't need, it puts back into his other arm. And then what's kind of bagged up is collected for me. So then my bit was easy for stem cell transplant, because it just goes straight into the central line, 40 minutes, job done. And then that goes into my body and it almost overrides my system. So that's kind of like the plan.
Perfect explanation. I mean, that's the best explanation I've heard. And it's not a transplant, is it? You know, you hear this word transplant and you think, you know, it's taking one organ out and replacing it with another. But was there any ill effects for your brother?
He's got the name of Crabman at the
How did he get
clinic,
that?
Because when they took the blood out, he got his hand cramped.
Okay.
To the point where it was literally like locked.
Right.
So yeah, in clinic he's known as the Crabman.
Small price to pay to offer that gift to you, and you had that on Christmas Eve, I believe, 2024. So you spent Christmas in hospital?
I did, yeah.
And how was that for you?
It was tough, but I said from before I went into Christmas, it was one Christmas versus the rest of my life. So I've got this Christmas, next Christmas, and it's kind of like the price you pay, isn't it? When you go, if you don't go into hospital for Christmas, you might not be here. I mean, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you say it's a no-brainer, and it is to you. To others, it's something they're not going to be able to get their head around. And you know, the kind of information that you wanted at the time. You said you waited for somebody to tell you what was going on. You must have been on the internet. You must have taken to search engines to try and find out, you know, what your symptoms related to. What was that experience like?
I didn't do much Googling.
Didn't you?
No. I didn't want to scare myself. And again, I literally put my trust in the consultant. I'd heard great things about him, and he'd actually helped my sister earlier that year as well. So I knew who he was, what he was about. And he put his hand on my partner and said, he's going to be okay. God. And I literally it's mad just to put your faith into someone that you've never met. You don't know him from Adam. Funny that one.
Strong name.
And yeah, he told me, don't Google because the information's old. It's not always true. And when you look at AML, typically it used to be older. So your statistics as someone who was 41 back then versus someone who might be 65, 70, the survival rate is different. The treatment's better. Because you were, like, I was fitter, more healthy, mindset, all of those things kind of put you in greater stead for getting through it. So
yeah. So in April 2025, going back to this timeline, you were told you were in remission, and remission being that there is no active sign of the disease. Before we talk about what happened after that, what was it like for you to hear that you're in remission?
It's an amazing feeling, and I kind of knew that I'd be in remission just because of how I felt. I came through the transplant, no signs of GVHD, which is where the old system attacks the donor. everything was good. I was back in the gym, I was back doing table tennis. I felt we were looking forward to like going on holidays again. And you get to that sort of 100-day where you have your bone marrow biopsy and you go, we're good. This is really good. And it's just an amazing feeling. I think remissions are always good because you've had that shock. It's like having the rug pulled from underneath you.
And you did have the rug pulled from underneath you, didn't you? Just a couple of months later.
Massively.
The cancer was back?
Yeah.
How did you take that news? In
That.
fact, how was it given to you?
So my sort of clinic visits were every couple of weeks, and I got to a phase where it was going to every 3 weeks. When I was in with Professor Craddock, it was a couple of minutes, almost like a catch-up. How you doing? Blood's good. Any issues? No, thanks very much. See you later. And we kind of got into that. I almost felt a bit of a fraud being in clinic because I was so well. And you see people that have been through transplant that were in hospital same time as me, and you hear that they're not quite back to normality or still trying to find themselves. And yeah, it's just a weird feeling going to clinic and almost being the same when you feel so good. So yeah, I went to clinic thinking it was just a regular in and out. And they said, we need to do another blood test because your white blood count is jumped up a little bit. And you just kind of think, oh, it'd be okay. Off I went.
Is it like just a sickening feeling when you hear that?
Initially, again, didn't really think much of it because I felt okay. And when the call came in on the Friday just to say, can you come back to clinic on Monday? We need to have a look at a couple of things. That weekend was a bit of that was a tough weekend because the stress and the fear and the emotions were coming back in and the what ifs. And then, yeah, on the Monday we went back to clinic and told it I'd relapsed.
That was 9th of July, I think.
Yeah, 9th of July.
Things didn't get much better for you during that month, did they?
No. So when I was told I relapsed, that obviously is a massive kick in the teeth. I was treated for the genetic that was first found. Because normally when you relapse, it's the same genetic that comes back. So the medication that they put me on was to target that genetic. So off we went, started taking the tablet, went back a week later, white blood count, it doubled. Okay, might be the medication takes time to kick in, get around the body, etc. Off we go, went back a week later, white counts doubled. And now we're thinking, what's going on here? This isn't right. And this was when we got sort of given the news of going, right, we're going to try you on another treatment now, see what happens. If this doesn't work, 2 weeks, that's it, you're done.
How do you, as a person, hear that news that 2 weeks and you're done? I'm sure it wasn't presented to you in that way, but that's what you heard.
Yeah.
How do you possibly comprehend that?
It was like the whole world just went silent, and the thoughts, the emotion. It's like you've just left your body and you've gone out the room, and it was horrible, and you don't know what to say. You want to cry, but you want to be professional. You want to ask questions, but you don't know if you're ready for the answers. And then you think about family and what's going to happen. But madly, and me being me, my body went, not having that. I struggled to accept that was going to be an outcome. My mind refused to accept it. It was like, rejecting that. This isn't going to happen. I decide when I go, not the disease. I will do whatever it takes. And yeah, that was tough. Because then what else happens is, it's not just you going through it, and my fiance was with me at the time. You've then got to go and make the calls.
Yeah.
Which,
it's those people around you, isn't it?
Yeah. It's bad enough, or you think, actually, this is my news. I'm okay taking my news because it's my news and I'm in control of my emotions and myself. All right, Mum. All right, Dad. Brother. Making those calls to tell them that you'd relapsed, and then you hear their emotions and their breakdowns. I'm almost like, all right, put the phone down. I'll call you back when you've had your moment, because you're trying to be strong for yourself, for myself and my family, for my children, and then you need someone almost stronger than you to put their arm around you, and all of the pillars around you have all just collapsed.
Did you think about not telling them the full gravity of your relapse and perhaps just saying, look, I've relapsed and it's not great? Or were you just like, yeah, I'm going to tell people the same news that I've been told?
Yeah, I think the transparency is better, the conscience of, if something happened and you didn't say, I would be going to heaven with that. Would I want that? No, I wouldn't. Probably didn't sort of tell the social media world what was going on, because I was very open with my journey. And even now I'm catching up with some people and they're like, that actually happened? You're like, yeah, it did. Because you just have to try and find a way of going, how do I not live for just 2 weeks? How do I get through this next bit? So off I went, packed the bag, went back to hospital, and this time it was more personal. But going into hospital was like a personal, I'm coming out of this winning, being cured, and I'm eradicating disease. I don't want it to kind of, and I meditated with it, and I actually spoke with the genetic, which is a bit of a bonkers thing to do. But I went into myself and I went to find the genetic, and I sat with it and said, look, I don't want you to be here, but if you are going to stay in me, keep the noise down. I don't want you here. Why have you came here? Made peace with it, walked away from it. And as the treatment then kicked in, it was about being in that state of going, I will accept the treatment to come through me and to me and through me, and I will do all the other things to protect my mind and emotions. And
That's incredible, Ad. And that's clearly one of your coping strategies. Did you have others as well as your meditation?
Loads.
Any real gems that really worked for you?
Gratitude.
Was it?
Yeah. Gratitude is something that I've been practicing for years. I've been teaching it in seminars that I've done, and I've got a quote about gratitude is an attitude that elevates your life to the highest of altitudes. So when you appreciate the small things you've got in life, you will acquire more moments, more memories, more money, more wealth, more health, whatever it is. And I think when you're in a hospital bed with not much else going on because you're neutropenic and you can't go for a walk, it is about having those routines. And you see people in your room that literally sit in their bed all day and do nothing. I'm like, right, what can I do in my room? And I've got my crystals in there. I'll go for a shower. I'll write my gratitude down. I'll speak it if I don't want to write it. It's about having that attitude, because even when you're in the worst situation, there's still something good that you've got in your life, whether that's down to the breath that you've just took or the fact that you can move your body. There's always something to be grateful for.
I don't know if you felt this, Ad. I had a bit of guilt about the inconvenience to all those people around me and the upset. And I know it wasn't my fault that I had blood cancer. It's not your fault. But did you experience anything like that? Because life goes on for everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're going through this journey of blood cancer, but the kids still need to go to school. The fridge still needs to be filled. Bills still need to be paid.
Yeah. Our fridge actually broke. Our fridge broke a day or two after I'd gone back in for the relapse.
How do you remember this?
Because there was nothing else going on really, apart from not dying. yeah, my fiance woke up and was like, freezer's gone. And I was like, close it, give it a few hours, I'm sure it had gone. And you go, like, these are the real problems that also happen. Summer holidays, 3 children, fridge freezer's gone, I'm not there, help. And I totally relate to the guilt where I'm not there. My job and my mission was basically surviving, and there's school runs to do, there's dog walking to be done, there's clothes to be done, my fiance and her well-being. The distance, there's a massive difference between being in hospital in Worcester, where I'm from, and being at the QE, where you've also got an hour plus of travel either way, with seeing someone within a certain period of time and then getting back and all of those things. So, like, logistically, and the stress that the partner has at home was sometimes more than my problems. Because all I was there to do was sort of go, well, you can't do anything. Can't do anything to help. And then it's, who can look after the children? Who can I call? Who's coming up to my fiance Jo? Like, amazing. Set up family groups. Who's visiting Adam's Day? What food you taking in? Because I'm not a hospital food person at all. So yeah, life carries on around you.
It does. And
we're very aware of, like, how Jo deals with it and copes with it and manages herself, or she'll get into bed at 9:30 at night, absolutely done, then wakes up the next day and has to go through it all again. And then have the worry of what am I doing, what's my situation and position, and wants to be with me, wants to be with the kids. Kids need grounding and balancing and managing and looking after and care and their well-being, and the stress they've got with dad, stepdad not being at home.
Yeah. And I'll always say it's so important that those people around the patients talk about their problems too. Don't hide them for the benefit of the person who's in the hospital bed, because I certainly wanted to know that everything was okay outside. Don't hide things from me.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's more the partner side of things which recognise this the most, where it wasn't about how are you doing, it was always, hi, how's Adam doing? And it was always those things really get noticed. And the other one was, people don't go to us with their problems. Like, we want to know what's going on in people's lives, and what you're always met with is this sort of defence of going, it's not as bad as what you're going through. And you go, but we want normal conversation. We, like, if your fridge packed in, that's bad. But your fridge packed in and Adam's nearly dying in hospital. So yours is worse. And it shouldn't be a thing, but it is. And I think people just don't know how to talk to people when they're going through journeys. And even now I get people to look at me, you all right? And I go, yeah, I'm fine. No, you're all right.
Yeah, are you really all right?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, if I wasn't all right, I wouldn't be here right now. And I've done a couple of posts before about if someone keeps saying, are you okay, are you okay, are you okay? It's a little bit like unpicking a scab or a scar, because you don't want to keep on going over it. I'm like, I'm good now, but in the summertime I wasn't. Going forward, we're moving forward, we're making progression and looking forward to life. How's your day going?
Nice, I like that. Well, let's talk about moving forward. 12th of November, 2025, you were given the great news that you are in remission again. That's not a massive long time ago. I can only imagine you are nervous now because you haven't yet been cured. I'll be open with that. It must be terrifying. That's how I would feel.
It is, and it isn't. I think I hit an initial remission in August. That was after the first lot of treatment. September I had a donor lymphocyte infusion, which was a top-up of my brother's stem cells. And then last week I've had another round of that. So the November remission again, I'd had one, which was amazing. The next one, to know that my brother's cells are in me and they're taking over, and I'm in a better position than I was after stem cell transplant is amazing. For fear, you have to lean into faith. You have to push the fear aside and go, I'm okay, I'm good. There are moments where you have this sort of a trauma loop of, what about if I die? And you have to erase it quickly. And that's where breath work comes in, or having those routines, go for a walk, clear my mind, don't think about those things because it's not happening. And I'm a massive believer of what you think about, you become. So if I keep thinking bad things are going to happen. So it is about controlling your thoughts, for your thoughts become things.
And do you sometimes forget that you're a leukemia patient and you'll be sort of carrying on with your day and then you'll remember again? Or is it always there for you?
Again, I'm grateful for the way that I think, because I don't walk around. I've just had a little stroll around outside, mixing with people, and people wouldn't know what I've just been through. And I don't want to be a victim, and I don't want to live my life in patient mode. I want to be back where you knew no different. That was a piece of my life that I had to go through. I'll never know why I had to go through it, but I know what difference I can make to the world because of what I went through. And again, I've seen and heard other patients where their mind and their way of thinking is that where they're always going to be like that. And like these moments, they don't define who you are, but who you become from it is down to you, the choices you make, the people you hang around with, your awareness, I guess.
Do you also remember that massive outpouring of support from friends and family? So when you first either have your diagnosis or when you relapsed, you get contact from everybody, don't you? And then as the time goes on, it starts to thin out a little bit, doesn't it? And some people become more distant, or the contact becomes less.
Yeah.
You're smiling because I'm guessing that's familiar to you.
It's, absolutely nail on the head. In the beginning, like the first thing we did was kind of got parents round. Then Joe was like, right, I'm going to set up a family group. Set the family group up. Then you start getting messages off your family. And you also get people that read stuff. So although I'm not Googling stuff, you kind of hear people, oh, it's pretty bad what you've got. I've heard bad things about this, or this is the tablet that I'm going to take. Oh. So as a patient, you kind of have to sort of shield yourself off from that and go, right, whatever you've heard, I'm not going to allow this in. Then I've got quite a following, and I've been very sort of open with my whole life for years anyway, to try and help people. And this was kind of like, I'm going to put a post out there. I did video updates from hospital in the first few days, but then when I was sort of in bays with other gentlemen, that kind of stopped because I didn't really want to put things out there if I was in a good place, but you see things around you. So you have to be really mindful of that. And the support we had was like fantastic. And again, I've put so many fishing rods out there in the past to help others, and I think now was the time that it was going to start coming back to us. And we were very lucky and fortunate. We had people delivering food to Joe and the kids, and everybody wants to go out their way and help. But then you also get the funny ones where not spoken to someone for 25 years, and then a message request and almost checking in.
Yeah.
Don't want to be offensive to them, but being nosy, finding out like where you're at. You get a couple of others where they're sharing their experiences, and it didn't end well. And although you have to acknowledge that, you also go, but that's not my journey.
Yeah. But this is the reality of it, is it? It takes you to have a diagnosis such as, or a prognosis of, you've got 2 weeks to live, before someone you ain't heard of for 20 years comes out the woodwork to say, hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah. It's a funny one.
As if you haven't got enough to deal with.
Yeah, and I think I've kept in touch with as many people as I could, but some I've still got messages now where I've not messaged back from September because I think it's on an energy level. You wake up and you go, right, I've got 100% energy today. I need to put most of this into actually getting through today. I know I've got a bit of treatment. And then I will do my message to everybody else was my social media. So if you want to ask me how I'm doing, there's my social media. That's kind of like my daily update. And I was very consistent with updating.
Yeah.
And it was also interesting because if there were days where I didn't update, I'd start getting people, you okay? Or Joe would get the message, is Adam all right? Because he's gone a bit quiet on social media. So,
yeah.
And the truth is, on some of those days, I was probably using more energy for myself, staying off social media because I was like, right, I'm proper in my boots here.
Yeah.
And I need to...
It's got to be about you on that day, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be about you.
And the social media thing that you've done will be a gift to so many people who perhaps know you but felt awkward sending that message or didn't want to seem like they were hounding you week after week. How are you? How are you? And they could just watch your updates.
It's all there.
Is that something you're continuing to do?
Yeah, still continuing to do it. And what's even greater now is I'm getting people that are following me because someone's been diagnosed and my name's came about. So they've gone, give this guy a follow. His journey goes back from September last year and is almost step by step to the date. So they're not just following me now, they're kind of stalking what's happened to see the journey because they've got a partner going through it, they're going through treatment themselves. And kind of like that light, the beacon for others that are going through their dark now. And when I got diagnosed, I never thought that this would be a thing. But I've also became the person that I was looking for when I got diagnosed, because what I was looking for, I couldn't always find.
I was just going to say, did you find you? Did you find the person who could offer what you're offering now? Did you find any support?
Me. I think sometimes you have to be the leader, and I think if you want things to change, you've got to lead that change. A lot of what I kind of searched for, it wasn't in alignment to what I needed. So I kept, like, for my mindset, I was going to like the people that I follow. In terms of cancer journeys, I didn't really follow many others. But then when I reached out to Cure Leukemia last year and put a post out, I gained followers that were almost a couple of weeks behind me going through stem cell transplant, and I've kind of been the guinea pig where they've gone, what's happening, how's things? And I've got quite a little community now that we all check in, and you see the biopsy days coming up and you see reduced meds and then getting back to life, and it's amazing.
Ad, how do we find your community? How do people find you? Plug it.
So my community is all Claxton Coaching on social media or my name.
So people can follow your journey there.
Yeah. So I've been very open just because I know that it's going to make a difference. And when you're so close to death, how you see life and your perspective it's now about legacy. And I'm creating something where people many years down the line will be able to sort of see what happens, how to get through it, and I'll be there alive. Yeah,
of course you will.
On stages, talking, and it's even like inspired me to make a book.
Has it?
Yeah. So I've made a little children's book because of what was available to us for telling the children. It was hard because when we had a 3-year-old, 8-year-old, 11-year-old at the time.
Oh yeah, tell us about this.
So how you talk to your children is completely different because of their ages. So it's a bit of a tough one because you're like, what do we say? How does Dad is in hospital? So yeah, it kind of inspired me to go and put something together to kind of break it down for younger children. And again, I've got people that have reached out and they've gone, like, amazing that you've done this. And also like the bravery, or am I a bit nuts? Because I'm still in it, but I'm still very able and open to share because I know that it's just vitally important.
It is so much, and all I wanted when I was diagnosed was to talk to somebody who had been through or was going through what I went through. Didn't matter what literature there was out there. I wanted to speak to a real person and say, did you skin itch at this point? Did you stay awake all night? Did you start obsessing over things that you were never obsessed with before? And I just wanted someone to talk to.
Yeah, it's my view on that was different. There was some. I don't want to hear like all the negative things of what happened. Or if you're going to do something negative, give them a positive or a better outcome or a solution. Because I think the world is so good at saying what their problems are, but who's the person that's going to go and actually, here's a solution, let's fix this.
So talking about fixing this then, what's the road look like for you from now?
The road looks like living life, being in the present moment all the time, and again, it's a great one to have where you just, to ground yourself, be here and now. I want to get back into work, back into helping people. What I was doing before has kind of changed because I think there's a massive niche in my life. It came about and I didn't know why. But yeah, my mission is to help others become better versions of themselves, whatever they're going through in life.
And your treatment, tell us about the treatment path now.
So treatment, don't really know, to be honest. I've had DLI last week.
Just remind us, DLI?
Donor lymphocyte infusion.
Okay.
So it's a top-up of my brother's lymphocytes.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll be another biopsy January, February time.
So basically it's a waiting game now.
Yeah,
crack on, enjoy your life.
Yeah.
We'll biopsy you, we'll check on you and we'll let you know how you go.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that sort of waiting and sitting in nervousness. I'm present, I'm here. Just, I say it in most posts, blessed and truly grateful.
So it may be that you don't have any more treatment at all from this point?
No, I don't want to. I want the disease or disease that I also liked referring it to as gone, eradicated. It's not part of me anymore.
Ad, you're absolutely inspirational. Talking to you today has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. I've absolutely no doubt that if I could have listened to you talk all those years ago, I'd have certainly felt a lot more positive and in a much better place. If anybody would like to ask any questions of Ad, you can reach out to him. He has, of course, given his social media handles out for you. Or you can go to the Acute Leukaemia website and drop some questions in there. We will do our very best to get Adam to answer those. Also, if you've got any ideas whatsoever for forthcoming podcasts, anything that you would like us to feature, any guests that you might like to see on the sofa, please do let us know in the comments below. My name is Adam Joyce. This is Let's Talk Blood Cancer, the Patients Podcast.